Oh, good afternoon, everybody. How you guys doing? This is good old Reverend Ordo, and this is the anonymous Mando'Ade Network. And I am the co-host of the Worldwide Resistance Network Roundtable. Yeah. How often does a court order get violated? Right? When does it happen? Okay. Federal judge finds Pentagon is violating court order to restore access to reporters. Okay. On Thursday, U.S. District Judge Paul Friedman ruled the department, the Defense Department is violating his earlier order to restore access for reporters, effectively blocking the agency's revised press policy issued last month. Following Friedman's March ruling, the Pentagon implemented new restrictions, including mandatory escorts for journalists and closed the correspondence corridor, claiming these measures complied with the court order. Friedman wrote that the department did not simply reinstate the unlawful policy under the guise of the new action, while striking down its classification of press access as a privilege rather than a right. Friedman emphasizes the case concerning the Secretary of Defense efforts to dictate information received by the public, describing the department's action as they attempted to control the message. Um, yeah, this is the dispute stems from a regulation introduced in October. The new policy is stipulated that the Pentagon could deny media credentials if the media publishes information without the department's permission. Those who did not comply had their vacated their jobs at the Pentagon. Friedman argued that the department could not simply reinstate an unlawful policy under the guise of a new measure. An unlawful policy under the guise of a new measure to expect the court to ignore it. This is a blank attempt to circumvent a lawful court ruling. This is from Deutschlandfunk. Members of the Pentagon press corps lose their press credentials en masse in October. Yeah. See, I don't know why they would do that. I mean, the press, now the freedom of the press, right? Same as freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to peacefully assemble, right? Right? Freedom to peacefully read grievance to our government, right? Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth needs to be removed. This guy has really became a little bit too big for his fucking fat britches, man. You know, and it's I don't know, man. I think it's really not good. Really not good at all. Um, because if you're controlling the freedom of information from the public, you are pretty much right. You are pretty much denying. You're denying the people, the public, right? If they go to do a FOIA request, which has been violated for years, it's been violated by state and local governments, including state and local law enforcement, whether it's the sheriff's department, police department, or metro, denying people the right to see. Hey, FOIA, freedom of information, right? Now, it's been violated for decades, man, for years, because we, the public, have a right to know. I mean, we don't want, I mean, we don't, I mean, look, we want to know, but there's some things that we don't want to know because what other issues is that if there's some information that could get someone hurt or gone, we don't want to know that much. Okay, we don't. Okay, so but when it comes to certain things, certain information, we want to know, but we're not trying to know everything. We just want to know certain information. Okay, we the public, we have our own line in the sand where we don't want to cross because if we cross that red line, that's pretty much the point of no return that we don't want to go. And so it's really we have a right to know some information, but we don't need to know everything. Okay, that I agree. We do not need to know everything, just some things that we can know. But we don't want to know anything that could, get us bye bye. You know. But the press has a right to access, you know, to ask questions. Like they need to do their job, even though not a lot of us trust the media, but yet we defend them by, hey, the media has a right to know, the media has a right to do their job, right? But we don't need to have many outlet cockamamie have a propaganda bullshit thing going on. Just hey, you um, it's time for the press to actually pull their head out of their ass and actually understand that. Look, we know that you want to do your job, but thing is, we know damn well that the Pentagon, the White House, and so on and so forth, they're they're going to limit your they're going to limit on how much you know. Okay, they're going to limit on how much you know, and you're not going to like that. Okay, you're not going to like that at all. So my question, okay, my question is, why would the Pentagon violate a court order? It's kind of like the UFO sighting in Phoenix in '97, right? In '97, big old ship, three like triangle shaped lights, all that shit. Then the military comes out and says those were flares. Is that all you got? Is that they're just flares? No, those were lights. Flares are shot up in the air and they arc like this. They go up in the air and So don't tell the public they're flares. The public can see right through that. Okay? So don't insult our intelligence, okay? Those were lights up in the sky in Phoenix, okay? The Phoenix lights in 97 were the real fucking deal, okay? So don't tell us they're flares, right? There was 7 lights in a triangle sink. 7 flares can't do that. So don't give us that bullshit, okay? If the public in Phoenix or the public in California or the public in Wyoming, whatever, see lights like that, they're going to pull out their device and they're going to film it. Oh, look at that fucker. Like that. Look at that. And it's on the device, man. Or some kind of recorder. It's like that. You know, you can't do the privilege over the rights thing. The press has the right to access. Okay? By denying them the right to access, you're basically violating their First Amendment right to freedom of the press. You know, and another case here. Let's see here. Iran says it won't participate in the U.S. peace talks without Lebanon ceasefire, release of assets, because Israel is basically bombing and killing civilians in Lebanon. Okay, that's an invasion. That's an invasion of a country that didn't do anything to cause them to be invaded. Okay, so Iran, they didn't and plus check this out. Okay, check this out. Okay, let's see here. Now, Trump said something here about Iran, which is a complete lie. Okay, let's see here. Okay, number one. Trump warned Iran not to charge fees for ships transiting Hormuz. If Iran wants to charge fees, they're gonna fucking do it. Okay? And then let's see here. Trump slams conservative media figures over splitting on him on Iran. We did. I did a video on that last night, and Donald Trump is playing on his feelings. If anyone criticizes him for the way he's doing his job, he calls them. He calls them right. He calls them yes. On Thursday, April 9th, Donald Trump posted a nearly 500-word true social message attacking conservative commentators Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones, calling them low IQs, nut jobs, and losers. The tirade followed vocal opposition from these figures regarding Trump's handling on the Iran conflict, with Carlson criticizing his war rhetoric as vile on every level, and Kelly labeling the ceasefire very much like surrender. Now, here's a guy who cannot take criticism. Okay? Trump posted this message on Carlson's education, Judge's legal bankruptcy over ttenyoohoo claims and Owen's controversy regarding French First Lady Brigitte Macron, while asserting the group represents the opposite of MAGA, which is just a fucking, reaction split swiftly. The supporters defended the president, while Owens and Jones suggested invoking the 20th Amendment to remove Trump from office, reflecting the widening internal rupture within the MAGA coalition. Political risk for the Republican Party could mount as the internal division deepens, potentially complicating midterm mobilization efforts and reshaped influential media audiences heading into the coming election cycle. I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is here, man. Then we have here, let's see here. Ex-Army employee without secret clearance charged with leaking information to journalists. Isn't that what Danny Ellsworth did during the Vietnam War? The Pentagon Papers? Let's see here. Got that one here. Netanyahu says Israel will begin direct negotiations with Lebanon, aim to disarming Hezbollah. Survey says bullshit. Support for Israel hit new low in United States, new poll says. A new Pew Research Center survey conducted March 23rd to the 29th of this year reveals that 60% of U.S. adults now hold an unfavorable view of Israel, up from 53% last year and around 40% of 2022. Public confidence in Israel Prime Minister Benjamin BiBi Sh has declined sharply, with 59% of Americans expressed little or no trust with his handling of world affairs amid escalating regional conflicts involving Iran and Gaza. Voters aged 18 to 49 are most critical, with 70% reporting unfavorable views on Israel. The majority of both Democrat and Republicans, above 50%, new view Israel negativity, despite continued support from Jewish Americans and white evangelical Protestants. Opposing weapons provision helped U.S. Senate candidate James Federico gain a 4-1 advantage over U.S. Representative Jasmine Crockett, Democrat out of Texas, in a primary, with political operative E.C. Bear Breen warning that Democrats are going to have to choose between Israel and winning the election. I do not choose Israel. Bipartisan support of nearly $4 billion annual military aid to Israel faces potential shift as public approval collapse, with analysts suggesting their growing polarization could force significant changes in the future U.S. foreign policy debates. Okay, let's see here. Artemis 2 faces a wave of conspiracy theories, all AI videos ahead of Friday's splashdown. Now, here's something that's not true. Okay. Iran says it will not participate in the U.S. peace talk without Lebanon ceasefire release assets. Okay. Trump said that Iran broke the ceasefire. No, Israel broke the ceasefire. Iran broke the ceasefire. No. Israel, no. Iran did not break the ceasefire. Israel broke the ceasefire. Russia and Ukraine announced its Easter ceasefire this weekend. Oil spill shut down port of Antwerp, Europe's #2 cargo hub. Finland opens world's first permanent nuclear waste repository. So the thing is, Trump is basically kissing the ass of Israel and Netanyahu. Okay? Iran never broke the ceasefire. Israel did by attacking Lebanon. Every time there's a ceasefire about to happen, Israel has a wild hair up their fucking fat ass and attack somebody, killing civilians, man. Like why are you wanting to do this? Because see, Netanyahu, BiBi Sh, he's a basket case, man. Yes. And not everybody in Israel sees him as, oh, yeah, he's not a good guy. He's an idiot. He's batshit crazy. The bolts in his neck are loose. He's on his power trip with a couple of drill bits up his ass. Um, I last time I mentioned a coup de grace. Okay. Now the coup de grace I'm talking about is an automatic mutiny to arrest the guy. Okay, arrest the guy. Okay, he's trying to control certain laws and things that Israel can and can't do. Okay, he's a prime minister, not president. Okay, here I'm going to show you guys something here. Um, Trump says military is loading up a ship, and peace talks with Iran go south in Pakistan. Um, White House says it warns staff against market bet amid Iran war. You mean Iran invasion, not wars, invasion. Trespassing. Federal courts hear new case against Trump's latest global tariffs. FC survivors pan Melania Trump statement. It says it diverts attention from Bondi. Liberals set to debate age restriction on social media. Now, the thing is, Iran didn't break the ceasefire. Okay. It says here Iran says it won't participate in the U.S. peace talks without the Lebanon ceasefire. Unless Israel stops bombing Lebanon and killing civilians, then the ceasefire is kaput. You know? Because Iran is trying to do things legit where, hey, we'll do this unless the attacking in Lebanon stops. That means either you put Netanyahu in check, put him on a leash, a very tight leash, to stop the killing of civilians in Lebanon, then we'll do peace talk. But right now, we're not going to do it unless Israel is on a leash. It's on a leash. That's what Iran is talking about. Trump can say, well, Iran broke the ceasefire. No, Israel did when they bombed Lebanon and killing civilians. See, the thing is, what people don't understand is that Netanyahu went to 7 other presidents, and each one said to him to his face, fuck off. Ain't going to do it. Not going to do it. Because he's been gunning for Iran for years. For years. And each president said, fuck off, fuck you, ain't going to do it. But Trump says, oh, I'll do it for Clinic Bar. Then what do you do? Goes in, sends in the military, starts bombing and killing people in Iran, even killing the Khamenei, Ayatollah Khamenei, who's been in power for 40 years. Iran didn't attack us, man. All that shit. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck, And our enemies is not Iran. Our enemy is on the Epstein list, man. Our enemies is on the Epstein list, man. All right. So here's the thing. The press has a right under the freedom of the press, under the First Amendment, to access the press board, the press room, and I love my country, but I just don't trust people that run it. I have a huge trust issue with people in a 3-piece suit and a fake smile. Okay, Donald Trump needs to pull his head out of his ass because nobody is that nice to him. He's whining and bitchy because he wants people to be nice to him. He's like a big baby in an adult drawers, man. A big baby in adult drawers. I'm saying, orange man, fat ass, too big for his fat drawers. And hey, people are starting to realize Trump is not what he could. Trump is not what he's up to be. Okay. So the thing is, Trump needs to watch his ass because there's people in DC that have no problem of finding things that are really violating international law as well as laws of the United States and use those violations to write up an article of impeachment. And even the Supreme Court saying, "Hey, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, dude, you're losing your mind here, man. You're fucking up, dude. You know what I'm saying? You're fucking up, man. And so you're not really doing your fucking job as president. The people voted for you to do your job are making the country better. You know, deal with the economy, jobs, all that shit. But no, you got your head up Netanyahu's ass and your mouth on his cock. Okay, simple as that. Donald Trump is basically blowing Netanyahu while fisting him up the ass, man. So it is what it is. Donald Trump is blowing Netanyahu while fisting him up the ass, up to the elbow. You know what I'm saying? And it's not good, man. Like, shit. Do your fucking job, man. Stop blowing the guy while fisting the bastard up to the elbow. You know what I'm saying? Because the American people are tired, man. They're tired of the Epstein files. They're tired of all this crap. Because every time when the files are mentioned, it's thrown out there as a distraction for something else. They're taking the files as a distraction from something else, and they'll like take another distraction from the Epstein files. So it's kind of like one distraction is replaced with another distraction, and vice versa, you know. So where can we go with this? Saying, look, enough's enough. The American people are tired of the distraction after distraction after distraction after distraction. They're tired of it. They want the economy better. They want our troops away from Israel, away from Iran. So, I mean, you had military leaders saying, "Hey, look, this whole Iran thing, man, is going to backfire, dude. It's going to backfire, you know." And Trump, he's a draft dodger, man. He's a fucking draft dodger, dude. Doesn't know what it's like to be on the battlefield. Lindsey Graham never knows. I mean, Lindsey Graham's never been on the battlefield. Neither has Ted Cruz. You know, none of them has ever been on the battlefield. You know what I'm saying? And shit. There are veterans. There's veterans that don't trust Trump or Vance, and Vance is a veteran himself. They don't trust the guy. You know what I'm saying? You know, and when they see on their own a fellow veteran, VP, and also Secretary of Defense, Hegseth, they're like, motherfucker, why are you taking us into Iran, dude? That ain't our thing, man. You're playing into Netanyahu's hands, man. It is what it is, man. Dude, you know. So I mean, like, it's insane, dude. Donald Trump is playing into Netanyahu's hands. You know, yeah. Hold on. Come on, baby, come on. But yeah, Donald Trump is playing into the hands of Netanyahu and Israel. You know. Now they'll probably have us help them bomb Lebanon. So I mean, it's like here our military is taking care of Iran while Israel's over here bombing Lebanon, right? So they're watching our military go after Iran while they're way over here bombing Lebanon, killing civilians. Okay, Saudi, they ended up arresting a few IDF guys and sends them to death. You know, dude. You know, it's all about to blow up in their face. I mean, you hear about Netanyahu's dead, but yet they have AI. They're using AI. Oh, he's not dead. But if he ain't dead, why does he have 6 fingers? Oh, that's a birth defect. And it's like they keep saying, well, the thing is, Iran just shot a few missiles into the house of Netanyahu. That's gone, you know. I just think that our world leaders is playing in the hands of Netanyahu and Israel. And you can't tell Trump that because you're like, no, we're not. No, we're not. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. All right, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, end this feed. I want this video to be a talking point amongst yourselves as well. My name is Reverend Ordo. I'm the co-host of the TWWRN political roundtable, and you can see my exclusive content on Minds, MeWe, Gab, Mastodon, Tumblr, Rumble, Clapper, Scoops, TikTok, also on X, not X, but YouTube. Here on YouTube, and also on Parlor and Getter. So, all right, folks. If you're new to this channel, like, subscribe, comment below, hit the bell for notification. Always live healthy, happy, and wise. I love you guys, and always remember: peace out, Godspeed, Buddha bless.